For bringing to the White House, but
oh yeah, huge. I mean, I came out very early, I think in May or June of 24, saying I wasn't going to vote, and the pressure was enormous. We were ridiculed, me and the Groypers ridiculed and attacked throughout the whole election for that, and we said specifically we're not voting for Trump because he's going to bring us to war in Iran, and here we are, so.
You know what? I didn't think he was bringing forward Iran. I did know he was owned by Israel, but I thought it was possible, but I thought it was like 30%, 20%. You know that because you kept saying that.
Yeah, thanks.
You thought he was going to do exactly what they were going to say, or why do you think he was? Because it's so insane to go to war with Iran.
It's totally insane, and it wasn't even on most people's radar. I remember having conversations with people back then and telling them this is a real risk, it's a real concern, and for most normies, they just weren't even thinking about it, and the reason is, you got to remember fall and winter of 2024, I remember watching all that heat up, and I always knew, basically since the beginning, that eventually that campaign by Israel would roll into a regime change war in Iran, just based on the rhetoric. And they were even broadcasting it very openly at the very beginning, early on. And so I just listened to what Netanyahu said, and I saw that they all coalesced around the Republicans. And when Trump won the nomination, Mary Nadelson cut the check for $100 million. And I just sort of saw the vision. Israel's taking it to Iran. They need Trump in position because they need America to help them. And so I didn't know exactly, like you said, it's so shocking that it has happened. I didn't know how or when exactly, but I knew that eventually that
sitting here doing some learning, opening up some Pokemon.
Yeah, it's 100%.
See if I can get lucky.
America. I don't see a single good thing. People are dying, getting killed. It's just like hard being a very proud American. I know you are too. It's been hard, kind of like spiritually.
Yeah, it is. Oh shit! 30 people. Hit that like, guys. I'm gonna open this Dustin Rivals up. See what I get.
It's just been kind of hard.
Let's see if I can get something. Someone alive.
Yeah, it is. And I think that in particular, this war makes us feel
like
we're
dope. One of my favorites.
And we have an evil leader. And I didn't even feel like that necessarily when the war in Gaza was happening.
Fuck you, Dustin!
There was some reluctance
from the
Biden administration to support it. And now that this is
hit that like, guys. Double tap your screen, please.
Trump is leading it.
I'd appreciate it.
War. This is not like Israel with American support. This is a U.S. war that Israel, of course, dragged us into. But Trump is taking the lead, and it's the deception, it's the flippancy with how he's talking about it. He's being very flippant about it and insincere. It's the brutality and the cruelty of the conflict. And you really feel like we have an evil leader, like a diabolical leader that is just wicked. There doesn't seem to be any grace or charity. I don't see any godliness in Trump anymore. So there is the psychological effect where it feels like we've sort of lost control entirely. There's just not even a semblance of it. Feels like we're a demonic nation right now. So I agree with you. It's not a good feeling.
Yeah, it does, and we were both Trump supporters. We both turned on him,
Comment down below what you guys think.
Get
in there, get in the comments.
The same person. He always had some of these tendencies, but it seems like something's just gone wicked off the deep end, or maybe we
here's someone sniffing around. It's my big ass Rottweiler.
Evil, like. Hopefully he has that deadline tonight where he's saying he's going to massacre him, basically genocide. I was just before the start of reading, maybe they have a deal. I have no idea what.
That's just crazy.
He doesn't just start bombing.
Our president said that.
Because how can we, be proud Americans? And I was just in Vietnam.
You're doing a lot of
First time in my life, I ever felt like a little weird saying I was American. People looking at you a little different. And I love my country.
Maybe you get some camera time, huh? Maybe you get some camera time.
No, I'm not afraid. I'm trying to take my country back. I'm sure you feel the same way.
I do. I love America, and I'm a patriot, and I even, when we talk about the situation in Iran, I said on my show, I'm praying for Iran. I actually want them to prevail in the conflict. But I'm a little conflicted about it because, of course, I don't want Americans to die, and I don't want American soldiers to die in the conflict, and I want America to be a successful and victorious and proud country. However, we are in this position because we clearly have no sovereignty. There is no connection between what the American public wants and what we believe in and what we're actually getting from the White House. It's like the least popular war in modern history, and I don't think anybody believes it's in our interest, even if I'm sure you have some Trump supporters that believe that maybe they trust Trump or they have some confidence in him. There's still a remnant there. I don't know if anybody believes that this has any positives for us or
Go
at
sit
the
down.
minimum that it's more positive
staring
for
at me
us than
for?
it is for Israel. So
You're a
that's
good boy,
always
huh?
the rub.
You're a good
And
boy.
yeah, so it puts you in a weird
Sit down.
position. But I would say that
What's up,
you
guys?
have
Hit
to
that
draw
like,
a
guys.
distinction
Subscribe. Hang out
between
with
the
me.
regime,
Fucking
which
learning.
is Trump, and the Trump
Trying to
government
get
in
hit.
America.
Oh,
which
here we
is
go.
the
40 people,
and the
Bubba.
history and
We
the
got 40
land
people.
and all
Journey
that.
together, guys.
I
Come
love
on, let's see if I can
America.
get
I
it.
don't love. I
Hit
don't
that
love
like,
this
guys. Double
regime
tap your
that's
screens
in
real
control
quick. Come
right
on.
now.
Do me a favor. Come on. I got a secret. Come here. Come here, guys. I got a fucking secret to tell you. Here's a code card.
Before I found myself praying for Iran.
Get in here, guys.
And I was thinking, oh, people think this is so insane. And then I saw you admitting that. I was like,
come on,
wow.
man.
Not something I expected from like a
Journey
right-wing
together.
commentator. They act like you're some evil.
Oh.
You have.
Went up. Cool. Fucking, I'll take it.
Well, I'm a Christian.
Hey,
I'm
on
a
the
Christian.
live,
We don't
bro.
want to see innocent people die.
Sure, it's like $1, but I'll take it. Hell yeah, hit that. Come on, that deserves one subscribe, one fucking like. Double tap your screens. What's up, baby?
This is just a
What
reflection
you
of
about,
how
huh? Got a
people
hit
get
right here,
along,
bro.
But
Watch
and
out,
I
get
don't
out,
believe under any circumstances we should be killing a civilization. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, they're not some backward people. I know a lot of Iranians. They're not these like backward
It's
state
not
people.
nice
Like,
at all,
they
but
act
I'll
like they are.
take
It's
it.
like, if they're some of the nicest, friendly people.
Welcome in, guys. Hit that subscribe. Fucking hit that like. Nothing.
Gazans, the Lebanon.
Struggling out here.
Tough year spiritually, I think, for a lot of people.
Take it.
Like a spiritual battle in this country. You know, I used to be anti-religion, but it's pushed me towards God, and you realize if there's a devil, there has to be a God.
Right? Yeah.
Percent.
So, well, and it shocks your conscience. It awakens you to the fact that we do have written on our hearts a sense of right and wrong and good and evil. Everybody knows it. Everybody's born with it. Everybody has it. It's just that over time, you get desensitized, or you learn not to listen to it, or you turn it off. But when you see the most
Okay,
absolute
bumping the
heinous
table,
evil,
buddy.
which is what this is,
Watch
it's
out.
just bloodthirsty, like you're talking about, genocide, mass murder. I think that awakens you to the fact that we're moral beings. We live in a moral universe. We're meant to tell the truth and fight for what's right. People have dignity, and when they lose their dignity, when they're dehumanized so they could be killed, we recognize intrinsically there's something very wrong. Maybe there's something that's
I'll
the
be back. Hang
ultimate
on.
evil. So I think there's a lot of truth in what you just said.
Yeah, I'm a father. I have children, so when I see these children being slaughtered, it just hurts. I had to stop going to the Telegram channel, looking at stuff, and realize it was like, I'm like a strong guy, but it was messing me up mentally, looking at too much of this stuff. Like, I got to stop looking. Because I can't imagine what they've suffered through, the Palestinian people, it's just bizarre watching our country turn evil. I don't know. How do we turn it around?
I don't know.
I was thinking about running for office, and I'm like, I started looking, trying to fix the problems, and I'm like, I don't even know what could be done.
I don't think there's anything that can be done. I think that the country needs a reckoning is what has to happen. The country is wicked and decadent and arrogant. And what you see throughout the Bible, ironically in the context of Israel, is that when the people become proud and when they don't listen to God,
Anybody here? Nobody?
God punishes
Two people.
them.
Hey,
God
what's up, guys?
humbles
Still in
them.
here.
And I don't know that it necessarily works
No,
exactly the same way, but I think we tend to find that when people become arrogant, there's that saying, pride goes before the fall. They have a habit of inviting and attracting ruin and destruction. And this country has had opportunities, I think, to do the right thing, and people are not stepping up to the plate. People are not doing the right thing, and so we will be humbled. And I think that it's incumbent on the good people to try to do what we can. All we're called to do as Christians and as decent people, it's not that we're supposed to change the outcome and fix America. That's up to God. The world is in God's hands. All any one
Amen.
of us can do is take accountability for ourselves every day, one day at a time, telling the truth, trying to do the right thing, treating each other with charity and compassion and gentleness and mercy. That's all anybody can do. And all anybody can do is try to reflect on their own actions. Am I part of the solution or am I part of the problem? Are we going to be part of the part of this generation that will inherit this fallen country and try to put it back together, or are we going to
Hey,
be
you are loud.
destroying it? And unfortunately, a lot of people want to be a part of the problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna at least try. It's like I'm at least try.
Bro, this is Massimo. Come on, man.
God, you probably saw it, but I don't know, God, whatever it is, I felt like I had to speak up. People were trying to talk me out of it when I first started speaking up. I mean, you obviously know how crazy it was because you were long before me, the amount of ostracization you've had. But I just felt like I had a moral obligation to do the right thing and speak up and try to push the country and the world to a better place.
Yeah, for me, it was just, I was always into politics. I was always obsessed with it. And I just went where the truth is. And it was very obvious as an 18-year-old, like they're not hiding it. that you have this subversive influence in the country. And if you just look at it long enough, you'll see it. And for me, it was just never a question. It was always whether we were going to tell the truth or whether I was going to tell the truth and face the consequences, or you knowingly lie so that you can make money, so you could have platform access. And I could just never live like that. So for me, it was just not even really a question. It was, I tell the truth. I'm in politics. I want to know the truth, share it. And if that's what the truth is, so be it. And you get persecuted. That's the story of humanity.
Yeah. Oh, I want to get some super chats, but I'll read those at the end. We got like 1 hour, but Nick's got a tight time schedule. Last 10 minutes, we read super chats. So we don't like break the flow. But just, yeah, back to the thing though, it's such a young age, 18 years old. I couldn't have sacrificed like you did. The way you were ostracized, that's tough. I don't think people understand. Most people following you now don't understand what you went through. Like you lost your banking. I was talking to Kick, arguing with him, why aren't you paying Nick? And then I realized the payment processors are like, won't pay you. It's not even the payment processor, just like, what?
Well, I love your guy said, can I say this, what he said to you about it?
Sure. Yeah.
He says, what did he say? He said that I should squash the beef or something.
Yeah. Payment processor. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. He was trying to help, but that's to squash the beef, the payment process. People don't.
I'm banned on Stripe, which is why I can't get paid on Kick. And they go, well, he just needs to sort it out with Stripe. It's like I wish I could have payment processing and banking, but I can't. So yeah, it totally sucks.
Oh, you want to criticize the Jews? We'll shut
Get
your
away
bank
from
down.
the table.
Did you see Ye just got kicked out of, I don't know exactly what it's on the headline. Some kind of music thing kicked him out of unsponsored or what it was.
Annoying.
And he even apologized. They don't accept your apology.
You're lucky, you're cute.
No, they banned him from the whole country. They banned him from the UK.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, so he was supposed to be the headlining act at this music festival in the UK. And what happened is, first, all the sponsors pulled out. So all the people putting up the money for it said, unless you cancel on him, we're not giving you money. So all the sponsors pulled out. And the head of the festival actually stuck by Ye and said, well, we're going on with the show regardless. We don't need the sponsors because we believe in free speech. Well, then the government intervened, and the government said, well, we don't believe it's conducive to the public good to let Ye go to the concert, so they're not even going to let him into the country. And this is because the Jewish deputies, I guess they lobbied the government, they lobbied the prime minister to make this decision. I don't know exactly how it works there. And you're right, that's even, so he apologized to a rabbi. Then he took out a full-page ad in the Wall Street Journal, which was a one-page apology. Then, as all this was happening, he released another apology. He sent to the, I don't know if it was this Jewish group in the UK, he said, hey, I just want to come and share my music. It's all about love and unity, and I'll come meet with the Jews if you'll just let me perform. And they told him, they said, well, you can come and apologize to us, but you can't perform. They said, if you want to come and make amends, we'll let you do that, but we won't let you perform here. And then the government kicked him out. So it just goes to show, you know, people think they're going to say what they need to say, swallow their pride, make their apology, then they're going to get put back in business. It's not like that. The Jews want you to fundamentally submit. They want their humiliation ritual, they want their apology, they want their penance, and they want it in perpetuity. They don't just want it once or twice. They need to know they gotcha. And if they don't gotcha, then you can't play. You're not in business anymore. And I don't know if there's a clearer example of how that works than what just happened this week.
No, that's so wrong. And Ye's a guy I just really like for some reason. I know you do too. Just something about him. Just he's so unique, such a great artist, such a a genius in a weird sort of way. And it just sucks seeing them do that to him. I wish he wouldn't apologize, but I understand. He probably wanted his life back. I think they took his kids away. I don't know the details behind that, but that's just like I said, father. That's the most evil thing. Like in the song, he's like, what's he say? You took my kids' bank account, so I became a Nazi. Like he tells you why. It wasn't like out of nowhere that he decided to flee. He didn't just randomly come anti-Semitic. You take your kids' bank account away, what are you supposed to do? I mean, you know more than anyone the bank situation. I'm lucky. I'm one of the first generations of people that started speaking up that like didn't use bank accounts. I mean, I still could, but like pretty much everyone, like you, Ryan Dawson, all the people before, who get the bank accounts X'd out. Like what else? You got blocked out of pretty much everything, right?
Yeah, Airbnb, banks, payment processors, all the social platforms, Spotify, Apple, it's literally like everything you can think of. I actually know of somebody that got banned on Claude recently, on Anthropic.
What's Claude? What is it?
It's one of the AI it's one of the AI models.
Yeah. But
It's one of the big ones.
Paper girl.
Oh, shit,
like,
23 people in here. All right, let's get this live hit.
Oh, you question too much power.
Fucking Destin Riley. Let's see if I can get lucky. Come on, guys, hit that like. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Try to remember that if you can.
You know, it's
See if I can
funny
get a
with black
hit.
people. You never see black people going and apologizing to priests, but they go begging to rabbis. They want the humiliation ritual. They did that to a basketball player.
Nothing. 3 packs, nothing. Fuck.
He had to go. I think he gave like
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Nothing, Bubba.
Apologize to rabbis.
What am I gonna do, buddy?
I just couldn't do it. I mean, you obviously either.
Come on, man.
I just couldn't do it. They're not going to forgive you anyway.
You're slobbering on me, cousin. Back up.
Over and over. So,
Hey, thanks for the thumbs up, guys. I appreciate that. Thanks for double tapping.
You had a
Fucking love you
massive
guys.
hardcore following, but it was small.
What's up, buddy?
It was a small
Good boy.
hardcore group.
He's a
You
good boy.
transcended into mainstream celebrity. Like, what's that like?
Oh, actually, we did get one hit. I was lying the whole time.
Well, it's very
I
strange.
got this a little
It's
bit.
very
ago.
strange because
I got that a little bit ago.
like you said, I had been doing this for a long time and nobody really knew me. I was very niche.
Bro.
And now
Bumping
all
the
of a
table,
sudden,
cutie
and
pie.
literally in just the past like 9 months, I get recognized everywhere I go.
Okay,
Every
stop
time I
shaking
go out
right
to
next to my
eat,
face.
every
Are you
time
slobbering?
I go to the mall or the airport, anywhere I get recognized, and it's always positive. Because even when people did recognize
Hey,
me
10 people in
before,
here.
they
What's up,
hated me
guys? Hit
because
that
they
like.
thought, oh, there's that
Love
one
you guys. Hang out with me.
Wisconsin.
Learn.
Let's go spit in his food. Let's go attack him in public. Now people come up and they're like, oh, I'm a
Man, let's
huge
do a
fan.
Syracuse
I want
Sparks
a
real quick.
picture. Oh, my friend
This one's
loves
next
you.
anyways.
They got the merch on, whatever. So it's very strange, and
Oh, I got
it's a
10
little
people in
bit
here. Fuck it.
disconcerting
Thanks for
though,
being here, guys.
because I'm a very private
Nobody's gonna remember that
person.
one. I'm
I
not
like
even
to be
showing
very discreet when I move around in the world, and now it almost makes you paranoid. And I'm already a paranoid, not very trusting person. But now the new thing is I go
Oh,
to
here
the
we go.
airport, and
Oh,
people
here we
will be
go.
there waiting at the airport. They know
Lucia's
my flight
appeal. Hell yeah, that's
information,
all
and
for
they're
real. I'll
there
take that
waiting
on the
at
live,
gate
baby.
or at the
Let's go.
Security checkpoint to get me to sign an autograph.
Fucking,
And,
that's cool. Looking,
you know,
I wonder what
and
that
I
is.
never
How much
do
that
it.
is.
I never sign the stuff. And people say, well, you're an asshole. Because people come up and say, can
Forgot
you
my
sign
other
this?
piece
I
of
go
technology
along with it,
inside.
and I go,
That
no.
deserves a like.
The
Come on, hit
reason
that
why
thumbs
is
up, guys.
because what they're
shit
implicitly
ass camera.
saying is like, we know
probably
all
like $5,
your
whatever.
movements. We know where you're going to be. We know
Surgeon
when you're
Sparks
gonna
hit.
be there. We know where you're going.
I got you.
And,
Buddy, come
you
back.
know, so I understand why a lot of people think that's like an innocent little thing. Hey, what's the big problem? I just wanted my hat signed. But for someone like me, it's like, well, I don't want people to know where I'm going and where I am. And, you know, I don't want to have people breathing down my neck like
Two
that. I
hits
like to
tonight.
move through my life. So there's some
Neither
aspects of
SIR,
it that
but
are a
we'll
little
take it.
bit, like I said, it's a little uncomfortable and disconcerting. But I guess that's part of the job.
Well, someone just tried to assassinate you, and that should have been a bigger story. That kind of got, like, literally someone came to your door and tried to kill you.
Well, you
Kill
slobbered
some
all
people.
over you.
That should have
Crazy.
been a bigger story, in my opinion.
Yeah, you think? And they denied it. They denied it. Then they went on
What?
TV and they said, oh, well, he alleged that someone tried to kill him. It's like the guy murdered 3 people, then drove 3 hours to my front door
yeah,
and
to his
got
fucking
up with
house.
a loaded gun in his hand, knocking on the door, yelling,
Yeah.
where's Nick? And people go, I alleged he tried to kill Nick.
No, he was there to
Yeah,
kill him.
He
right?
didn't kill you. And that was after
That's
that
crazy.
viral tweet of, was it your body, my choice?
yeah. Yeah.
That's so hard. People don't get it's like a joke. It's
Yeah, they didn't
Wow.
get. Yeah, a lot of it. That was like, it's so weird too because that happened right before I blew up. So I went from everyone hating me, like literally everybody,
in the country for a minute.
every woman in particular hating me in the whole country. Like my lawyer was like, my daughter told me, you represent that asshole, I can't believe. Like literally daughters and girlfriends
me.
of wives of every man I knew was like, I fucking hate that guy. And then a year later, I'm like, mainstream is so weird.
Yeah,
Whew.
I see liberals posting your stuff now. That's so bizarre to me. The people that just hated you before. Because when I first met you, people hated you. People were like, you shouldn't be talking to that guy. He's a racist. But they took your voice. They took your voice away, and then they told us who you were. Because I believe in the Lord. That must suck to have your voice taken away. You were banned from everything, so you can't speak, and they just tell you this guy's bad.
Yeah, and that's, it's very strategic in that way because it's true. They take your platform and then they, on Twitter and everything, on the news, then they tell you who you are. And they tell everybody, so this guy's a self-avowed Nazi, what, blah, blah, whatever. And you have no right of reply. You don't get your day in court. In America, you're innocent until proven guilty. You get to make your case before a jury of your peers. But the thing about reputational destruction is you don't get a fair hearing like that. They have the bigger megaphone because they're protected by government and they are institutional and they have the money. And if they don't like you, they squelch you, shut you down. They don't engage with you deliberately. They won't debate you. There's no engagement. And then they just tell everybody, hey, fuck this guy. This guy's the worst person ever. And it's life ruining. So yeah, you're right. It's pretty tough.
Your
You
mouth
guys were, like,
breathing, bro.
destroyed for a lot of years, pretty much. I wouldn't say destroyed, but kind of. You were living tough. That's why I had so much respect for you. What you went through, people don't understand. You were completely ostracized, and at a young age, just cut off from the world. How did you make money without banking and stuff? You couldn't even sell merch, could you?
So, we had a time where we always had super
What's that,
chats. So I was always able to make money through super chats on my show. But it was crazy the way they did it. They had a payment processor in like another country, and they charged us a very high processing fee. So even when I was banned from everything, I still had that source of income. But I wasn't able to sell merch. I had to use cryptocurrency only up until very recently. And I couldn't do subscriptions. I had no sponsors. So for a time, and then as far as banking was concerned, I would just have to keep making new bank accounts. I would go to the bank,
more people
make an
in here.
account.
Hey, thanks
They
for
would
that thumbs
catch
up. I
on,
love
like,
you
hey,
guys.
I'd
Thanks
go
for
to a
being here.
different bank, move my money out, move all my recurring payments. I'd be there for a few months, then I get banned. And so I think I went through 6 or 7 bank accounts before finally I was able to land at one that didn't ban me. And that was maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So it's a trip. I mean, you got to find a workaround for literally fucking everything because they don't make it easy.
And shout out to the Corpers for helping support you. We've had an on and off relationship, but overall I love them. They're like such a loyal, good group to you. I think I got to unblock a bunch of them because I blocked a ton of them when we were fighting. So I'm like, you know what? This is helping instigate the problems between us.
It happens, yeah. They're rabid,
No, I respect them. They love you. That's why. So they're going after me, and I understand that. I don't hold anything. That's why if you go through and unblock a bunch of them, I think.
Yeah.
Start attacking me again. Whatever.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? I guess Dan Bilzerian is running against Randy Fine. That's going to be the most interesting. Yeah, he has to move to Florida. He's trying to get this all set up, kind of spontaneous. That's such a wild, interesting race. Of Dan's a little crazy, as you know. I love Dan, great friend, but he's extreme. Even me and you are like Dan. And Randy Fine is the most insane, disgusting person in Congress. What do you think of that race?
Well, I don't know the particulars of that district, but it's southern Florida. So the problem with southern Florida is it's all Jews. And so if you have, and that's not like that's a problem, but if you have a Jewish electorate, that's why they're going to elect a radical pro-Israel Jew as their congressman. So I'll have to look at it. Obviously, I support Dan. I prefer Dan in Congress over Randy Fine. But the problem is that all the people in the administration that are pro-Israel, they're pro-Israel because they all came from Florida. Trump's chief of staff is Susie Wiles. She's a Florida lobbyist. She ran the state of Florida for Trump in 2016 for the campaign. And when you're the chief of staff, you put together the cabinet. So who did she pick? Well, she picked Marco Rubio and she picked Mike Waltz. She picked Pam Bondi. What do they have in common? They're all
welcome
from
in,
Florida.
guys.
They're all from Florida politics. And how do you
Coming out, learn with
Florida
me.
politics? Well, you have to go for the big Florida donors, which is all the Jewish money, because South Florida is one of the big epicenters of Jewish power in America. So there's no coincidence that it's like this. And so that's why I think Dan would probably have a better shot running in a different district, but I can see why he's doing it.
Well, I looked at it as older people too, the boomers. That's the worst people. So I don't know if he's committed already or not. I mean, he said it, but it might be smarter to run like in Vegas or something, because the boomers are the hardest demographic for Dan to reach. The young people are going to love Dan. Dan could also rally some of the Democrats, but you can't vote. If you're a registered Democrat, you can't vote for him in the primary. So
Right.
It's a tough race, but I think, I think he's still doing it. We'll see. If I'll rally behind him and support him, whatever he does. So, back to the administration. It's just full of fucking lunatics. What do you think of Pete, the Secretary of War? This guy to me seems completely out of his mind.
Oh, he's an idiot. He's a complete idiot. And anybody that I talk to from the administration says he's a complete knucklehead. He's just a nothing. Because the thing about the national security apparatus is you can actually identify what faction the different people are a part of, whether they're more neocon or whether they're prioritizers or restrainers or the big China hawks or the big Russia hawks. You can usually identify
Hey,
their
15 people in
ideological
here. What's up, guys? Get in here.
You know, create a profile. But this guy,
Get in here, hang out with me, see if I can get hit real quick. Come on, Phantasm Flames is up next. Get in here, I got a secret to tell you guys. You guys want to hear a secret? I got a fucking secret. Comment some stuff if you guys want to hear a secret. Remember that. Remember this quickly. Come on, guys.
A lot of great things.
We don't got a lot of time. There you go.
Kind of an ideological nothing.
See what I get.
Not very bright.
If I get into
And the only information we have about him as far as his leanings go is that he is one of these fanatical evangelicals with all the tattoos, and he was part of this nonprofit.
Oh, was that the first? Oh, nothing. Damn it.
To rebuild the third
no big deal. That deserves a like. Come on. Come on. Double tap the screens. I appreciate you guys.
An ideological leaning or a flavor. He is one of these radical, fanatical dispensationalists. He also goes to the church of Doug Wilson. Doug Wilson is a theonomist. I believe he's one of these reformed preachers. He's one of these psycho-Protestants. And this guy has been in bed with the Jews. He's building this huge complex in Idaho out of nowhere. Apparently got a ton of money.
Hey, what's up? Welcome in, guys. Thanks for that thumbs up. Appreciate it.
And all of a sudden now he's in bed with all these Claremontsters and Straussians and Zionists and very pro-Jewish. And he said in an interview, I think a week or two ago, he would ban public displays of the Catholic faith even. So not just ban Islam, but ban Catholicism. Because as Protestants,
that's crazy.
They want Noahide laws. They have this, like, within Christianity, they have like a Jewish supremacist view of their own religion. And Pete Hegseth goes to Doug Wilson's church. So this guy's pretty fucked up. I mean, this is not a good guy.
Yeah, he seems like a complete lunatic and evil to me. He just seems like a nasty and dumb. If you're evil and dumb, that's a bad mix. And just everyone in the Trump administration, they're these crazy, fanatical Israel, lots of
evil and dumb.
Spiritual leader, what's that girl, Paula? She was
that's what we got.
Jesus, that was disgusting. And Trump, like, starting to believe it.
What about the Dow, guys? What about the fucking Dow, guys? Where's that bitch at?
Yes, exactly. Cyrus.
Where's that dumb bitch at?
They believe he's the Messiah. And Tucker was hinting at this. He says, maybe, because all those people in the admin believe it, he goes, maybe Trump has been convinced that he is appointed to a higher office. Like, he's not just the president, but he's like the king of Israel, or he's like you said, he's the Messiah. Like, who knows what they've been telling him and what he believes. And I think
they're talking him up 100%.
I don't think that Trump is a believer, but the people around him are, and they manipulate him and influence him a lot. So it is very disturbing, and I don't like it.
Yeah, do you think, I hear Trump gets his information only from the yes men around him. He probably goes on Truth Social to watch people kiss his ass. Like, I don't think he's getting much real information. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's true. That was a big thing. Taking him off of Twitter was a huge part, in my opinion, of his decline.
Reactions now, exactly. He can't see what the people are saying, so he's out of touch. Truth Social probably bans anyone that criticizes Trump. That's all the trust the plan.
Right.
We're fine paying $10 gas.
Well, because back in the old days,
that's crazy. I'm not fine with that. What the fuck? I'm gonna
cry
about that.
People don't even remember, but like 10 years ago,
gas prices are fucking wild.
He was funny. Trump was hilarious. He was fun. MAGA's this dying, pathetic crowd now. It's just dumb people, Jewish people, and paid influencers. It's sad. I almost feel bad for him.
Back then, that was like, it wasn't just that he was funny. Obviously, it was very pithy, and that was part of the appeal. But specifically, they said he's on Twitter, and that is how he cuts through these layers of you could say moderation, or if there was ever an attempt to control him by limiting his information diet with consultants or specialists,
hey, 5 people. I'm gonna rip another one. I got Mega Lewis coming up
Trump
next.
is on Twitter with us. Like, he's just liking and retweeting stuff. He sees what people are saying. And so it was actually a two-way platform. That was Trump's ability to bypass the media. You guys want the code card? He could get his message past the media, and also we could get through to him because he was reading what we were saying. Now that he's on
baby,
social,
you don't want that guard war from here.
And not only that, but the chief of staff and the body aides, all the other personnel, they heavily control who he sees, who he talks to, what he sees on the internet, the news clippings. And so over time, you're right, he's just totally divorced from reality and from public.
One ultra real, one IR. So I'll
and like
take
you
that.
said, now it's just True Social. It's like the capture and amen choir. Anything he says, they're going to support it no matter what. So it's no wonder that he's totally deranged.
Yeah, he said Jared told him if he bombed him, the people were going to come up and welcome him as liberators. It's like, oh my God, yeah, I trust Jared.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like I don't know if it's true or not, but the Epstein files, there was a report. It wasn't like a confirmed one. It was one of those ones that was like a tip that said, oh, Jared's controlling the presidency through Javad Lubavitch. It's like, well, it seems very possible.
He was. I mean, and people that were around in the first term know Jared Kushner was running everything. Who negotiated USMCA from NAFTA? Jared Kushner. Who brokered the end to the government shutdown after the midterms? Jared Kushner. Who facilitated the Abraham Accords? Jared Kushner.
Yo, that motherfucker became a billionaire since Trump came in office.
And he's back in the second admin. Who gave Iran the ultimatum in the middle of February? Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff.
Yeah,
so he's playing.
I didn't know about none of that. What the fuck?
Allegiance to Israel. They sent 2 people in allegiance to Israel to go negotiate a deal with Iran, and I hear they were meeting all the demands still, and Trump just bombed them.
So I'm saying, learn with me because I am learning a lot of shit from these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Negotiate.
Exactly, and that's always the rub. Is you think you're getting Trump, but in reality, you're getting all these people behind him. You're getting the Kushner. You're getting the Howard Lutnick, the Steve Witkoff. You're getting all these other elements behind the scenes, and so whether Epstein, whether that was a real tip or he's just talking shit on email, it's true. I mean, that's 100% how it works.
It's true. Or that one, I looked at that one like, well, it's true, regardless of how credible that source is. So he's gotten himself in such a mess. Like, because if he just walks away, we lose the war. It's embarrassing, but it obviously would be better for America. But if he stays in there, America's going to suffer. People are going to have a hard time paying for gas.
You're scared shit out of me, doesn't
tell me they can't afford gas. So these are things that these elites don't think about. People are struggling.
You want to go inside, dude?
What's Trump's move?
You're being annoying.
Well, and here's the thing. Unfortunately, and people have a hard time with this.
Go lay in your bed, dude.
Once he bombed Iran, things have changed now. It's different now. Before you dropped the bombs, you could
my big ass dog is breathing in my ear. Can you guys hear him breathing?
Now that Iran is closed off the strait, now that we have killed the supreme leader, it's just different now. And Trump,
it's smoky around me, cousin. Go away.
He just doesn't have as
go to the other side of the room where it's not smoky.
So, I say this, and other people say we should just pack it up and leave. Well, you can't really do that. If we're being realistic and not, in fantasy land where there's no repercussions for our actions, you can't just leave. Why?
Good mess now.
If you just leave, now we have no deterrence. Now we have no credibility. How are we going to get a deal in Ukraine? How are we going to deter China in Taiwan? How are we going to facilitate whatever we're doing in Venezuela and Cuba? We have no credibility. So if we just pack it up and leave, Iran now controls the Strait of Hormuz. This is a catastrophe. They have reestablished deterrence. We can realistically not go back and attack them at any point. So they're emboldened. You could say they're more hardline and more defiant than ever. This is just like infinitely worse than before. And we've lost deterrence for all of these other conflicts that we're trying to facilitate elsewhere. So I think if you're Trump, and this has been my forecast for the past few weeks, he is looking for an opportunity to get some kind of a victory so that we can find the off-ramp. And so maybe that means we take one of the islands. Maybe it can be symbolic. It can be minor. We just need to notch a victory, get Iran to agree to some terms so that we can leave without a complete humiliation. And that seems to be the best option right now. If you're being realistic, if you're the president. Unfortunately, though, I just don't see how you're going to do that because we are losing and we don't have any of the cards. And any way that we can escalate, it will be delivered right back to us in kind. You know, if we bomb Iran's infrastructure, they hit the Gulf. We bomb their desalination power plants, they do it to Saudi Arabia. So there just seems to be sparingly little we can do to save face. And so you just wonder what kind of operation they can cook up that can thread the needle like that and get us out of here.
Yeah, I was thinking if I was his advisor, how would I advise him to get out of this mess? And I didn't have any good answers. I was just pondering, being like, wow, every option's bad, you know? I wish you would just apologize. That obviously isn't going to happen. Be like, sorry, guys. Oops.
Sorry, guys. Oops.
And here's the thing.
Sorry, guys. Oops.
Realistically,
a lot of people are fucking dead. Oops.
What I just said. If you really got to the fundamentals, the way that you end the conflict is you put Israel in their place. If you're Trump and you're looking at the set of options before you right now, maybe you'd say escalate to de-escalate. I would probably agree that's really all you can do. But if you really want to solve this, you know what Iran is saying? Iran is saying we don't want a truce. We don't want a ceasefire. Why? Well, obviously they want some form of a truce. What they don't want is a 30-day reprieve for Israel and the U.S. to replenish their munition stores and then launch another attack because Iran has the advantage. So what Iran is saying is, we want a permanent end to the fighting. We want confidence you're not going to do this again. Well, what is driving the conflict between us and Iran is Israel. So if you want to give Iran assurances and open up the strait, the road to that runs through Israel. You have to break the back of Israel so that they don't continue egging this on and provoking Iran. Only then can you give the assurances necessary to Iran to have a permanent cessation of hostilities. If you want to end the fighting, that's what you do, and we solve it tomorrow. But it's just that Washington is literally not able to do that.
Yeah, I think it's very important to point out that too. Like you said, Iran is also in a very tough situation. They can't just sign a ceasefire or we're going to come in and attack them again. We keep doing it. We've been humiliating them for years. They have to make it where we're scared to want to go to war with them again. They have to
exactly.
Go out there and stop.
You're hitting the table.
They have no choice but to go
you're
out.
Hitting the table.
Either die or try.
They're
doing better than I thought. They're doing pretty well. Like. I don't know.
I'm gonna take your ass inside. You want to go inside?
Mission. Some people say they think
hang out by yourself, bro.
Ground invasion. Do you have any thoughts on that? I guess they tried bringing. I guess it was 100-something miles away from where the crash was.
Yeah, I mean.
Go sit down.
I don't really
know
much about that. So.
Go get.
Yeah, me neither. And there's really no way to know because there's so much propaganda. But I mean, there's some credible speculation based on the losses that were suffered. We lost a lot of equipment, and people also said that the C-130 cargo. Transport aircraft, they had to be scuttled. Apparently they were flown in to bring a bunch of special operators to rescue the pilots. They were hit, the planes were hit, and could not be flown back out, so we had to scuttle them, we had to destroy them to prevent them from falling into the hands of the Iranians. Well, those C-130s were closer to Isfahan, which is where the highly enriched uranium is buried, than they were to where the pilots allegedly went down in the mountain ridges, and like 5 times closer to Isfahan than where the pilots were. So that's where some of the speculation comes from.
Yeah, I think it's through mountains too. So it seems unlikely that some pilot went like 100 miles through mountains in Iran. Well, I say it's a mountainous region. You can't just invade these with a ground invasion. If we send ground troops in for a ground invasion, there's thousands, maybe tens of thousands of Americans might die. And we just don't have the stomach. The country's already against it. It would turn so hard against it. So I think Trump knows this and wants an off-ramp, like you said, but he wants to be able to say some kind of victory. Iran doesn't want to give him anything. I don't know. I really hope they negotiate something before tonight because he's threatening just pure evil.
I hope so too, but I don't see how it happens because Iran keeps saying we're not going to accept a ceasefire. And what they are after then is like these big concessions. They want America to give them reparations, give them the strait, shut down all their bases. So as of yesterday, Iran said, we just don't even want to talk anymore. Now they're saying, well, a deal is about to happen tonight. And what they're saying is it's just going to be an extension of the deadline by 2 weeks. So they could really get down to brass tacks and iron out a deal. I don't know how much I believe that, but I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm just going to pray for a deal. So I don't want Americans to die. I don't want Iranians to die. I don't want our economy to a tank. There's just literally nothing good. In my view, you probably agree, not a single good thing from America. It's also a little humiliating. Like, we disagreed on the Venezuela operation, but it was impressive. It made America look
Fuck,
mighty,
that was impressive.
Unstoppable. This is embarrassing.
That was scary, actually.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel anymore.
You're right, and it's a perfect contrast because you look at the Venezuela operation, it was decisive, it was quick, we had a stated objective, we completed it, we didn't lose any lives, it didn't cost any money, we got what we wanted, it was in our region, you could articulate the benefits for America. None of that can be said about this. No clear objectives, not competent, not decisive, taking way too long, tanking the economy, it's all the way over there, no benefits. People are dying, hundreds are injured. It's like, so yeah, I know we disagreed, but at the minimum, you could say a case could be made that Venezuela is not Iran. Like there were some benefits that could have accrued. This is just a complete disaster, unmitigated catastrophe, and deeply humiliating because we just look like a joke.
It's been so humiliating for us as Americans, humiliated our country. I think Trump got overconfident from that and like, yeah, we could do this. And I heard there was reports of like CIA and stuff saying like, hey, we don't think this is, they're not going to have a revolution after this. But Trump just didn't listen. Didn't only a few of them like secretly negotiated it? I think it was like I don't know who it was, like Mark Rubio. They didn't even tell very many people launched it. There's all the firing of the military generals. I think it's people that aren't wanting to do the war. Do you have any insight of why they're firing all these generals?
Yeah, the New York Times said today that when the decision was made to launch the war, it was because of this big push by the Israelis in the middle of February. And they said that the Israelis basically misrepresented this. They told Trump that Iran was going to undergo an uprising and we would easily prevent them from taking the Strait, destroy all their missiles, all these things that have not happened. Like Iran did close the Strait, we can't destroy all their missiles, and they didn't have an uprising. The Israelis said all that would be easy, and they said that every American general warned Trump that this would happen. Every American general said, you're not going to get regime change. They're going to close the Strait. We're not going to be able to destroy all their missiles. Trump ignored all of them. And this is true. I think you know this is true because in the weeks leading up to the war, I remember specifically the generals were planting stories in the papers, like in the Washington Post, saying, we do not believe in this. There is no decisive strike. We don't support it. This is going to be a disaster. So from inside the regime, they were telegraphing, this isn't going to work. It was almost like an SOS. So, and I imagine that generals are being fired because they're not giving Trump the options that he wants, which is he wants to get the highly enriched uranium. He wants to invade Karg Island. Maybe they're talking about a tactical nuke. Who knows? Anything is possible right now.
That would be sick, but it is possible. I mean, that would be truly sick, but it is possible.
It's a non-zero chance. I wouldn't say it's high, but I would say it's a non-zero chance.
I would agree, but this gets sick thinking about if America would do that. It's like, we're the bad guys in the situation, and unfortunately, we're probably not going to change course for a while, but hopefully we're wrong and he'll get a deal tonight and everything goes good. So what do you have next? When I first met you, you were toxic. I remember, like, oh, get you on a couple of podcasts. I called 10 of my friends, only Hodgkins, Matt Spectrum. They're the only people that have the balls to talk to you. I'm not going to say any names, but everyone's like, no one would have anything to do with you. Now people are constantly hitting me up. I'm like, dude, I'm not a booking agent. I hit you a couple times, but usually don't even respond to not big enough podcasts. I'm just constantly being like, can you get a Nick on my show? Can you get Nick on my show? You're like the most popular guy. Everyone wants you now. That must feel a little weird.
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, it's I try to do as much as I can, or at least I was last year. Now I'm trying to be a little more mellow. Honestly, I feel I have a lot of plans and I have a lot of ideas for where I want to take everything. And I'm working on some things with my nonprofit. But I have to tell you, I feel very demoralized lately. And I know I need to overcome that. People don't want to hear that if they consider me a leader or the leader, but it's hard not to get demoralized when you see that what we're doing seems to almost have no effect on the outcomes. You know, it's hard to imagine that Trump got elected and
more, but it's not that they don't listen to anything. They're just saying fuck you to all of us. So it's like, yeah, thanks to like you putting all this work in, come in, we completely changed the whole people like don't support Israel anymore, but it doesn't matter.
Well, and I would say, adding on to it, because I was about to say what you just said, but to take it a step further, it's even the people that are Israel critical or know the relevant facts, even they are just getting tricked all the time. Even they are being misled all the time. Yeah, so you just say, at what point do you realize we're kind of cooked and maybe it needs to get worse before it gets better? Not to sound like an accelerationist, but timing is everything, and sometimes it's just not the right time. So you say, maybe we got to learn the hard way.
Yeah, I'm a little demoralized as well. It sucks, but the country's not heading the right direction. Almost 40 trillion in debt. That's like,
Holy
no one ever
fuck.
talks about that. That's not a good thing. I don't think people understand, like, that's going to cause inflation, I would think. What do they got to do? They got to print more money. Interest's going to keep going up. And it comes to some point, what do? The country just goes bankrupt.
Well, yeah.
Trying to bankrupt the country.
There's some people. I remember my government teacher in high school was like, well, the debt can be as high as we want it to be. That doesn't matter. You know, there's some people that promulgate this modern monetary theory where they say the debt doesn't matter. But it's like, okay, interest rates are going up. We have $40 trillion debt. How do you think we're going to service that debt with high interest rates? You know, eventually we're going to be paying more in interest on the debt than our military cost, than our entitlements cost. And you just get buried alive in this stuff. So there is a limit. And then you have the de-dollarization, which is overstated, but gradually there is going to be less and less demand for the US dollar. So our borrowing potential is not unlimited. It's constrained by demand and it's constrained by interest to service the debt. So yeah, it's like, you know, I don't know. I don't know how any of these things are going to get solved anytime soon.
Yeah, and I'm skeptical of the stock market, Bitcoin, and the real estate market right now, and the dollar's going down. So it's like, I've worked hard to make money in my life, looking everything could just like fall apart. You start being like, damn, it's I don't know where. Let me go through and read a few of these super chats.
Oh, great.
Yeah. You can talk to my audience if you want, Nick.
For sure, yeah.
If you have room here. Your super chat, I love the super chats on your show. I just watch clips. Sometimes you'll post it. You're just going off on your fans. It's pretty hilarious.
I hate them, but it's okay. But that's all right.
I was just saying, I told you right before, because like, it'd be hilarious if you did a show today and like, gotcha, bitch. I would have to just laugh.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. What's this guy say? Topic suggestions. Oh, he's giving us topic suggestions.
Oh.
Let's see what he's got. Potential nuke drop in the future as early as tonight. Nah, not tonight. Well, I hope not tonight. Trump impeachment. Yeah, that's interesting because there hasn't been that big. I think there's finally starting to be a call of impeachment, but even the Democrats were mostly silent until the last couple of days. It just shows you they're all controlled. You know, the two-party system's almost a bullshit. So there. He has a lot of topics for us. This guy, like,
oh wow,
I'm gonna hire him as my among those who are genuinely America first. God bless you, gentlemen. Well, thank you. So yeah, we kind of talked about the nuke already. He said potential deny. I think I would be shocked. You never know with Trump, though. Anything's possible with Trump.
Yeah, I think he. You know, I've said this for a long time. I have a suspicion that he might want to do that, but it just seems too radical even for him. But I don't know that I'd rule it out now.
Yeah, I don't even know how would we react as a country if we did. It's like, what do we even do? That's why it's been so demoralizing, because I think, what are our next steps? And I don't have a good answer for that. If you get some good answers, let me know. Give me a call, and we can brainstorm some ideas, because I think it sounds like you're in the same position as me, being like, what are the next steps? So I thought the information war was going to be like, oh, that'll solve it. It's not looking like it. Have you considered inviting Joseph Atwill, author of Caesar's Messiah, onto your show? I will keep super chatting this request. I think that's to be not you. I don't know who that is. You know who that is?
I do not know.
Well, I will look him up. I don't know who that is, but I'll look him up. What do we have? I guess the guy just sent a gift. Thank you. The world didn't deserve. I don't understand what that is. I don't know if it's shit talking, so I'm not going to read people talk shit. Judah received 30 pieces of silver from AIPAC. Judas.
So true.
Thoughts on the ceasefire announcement? Just announced. I guess they.
Was it?
That's what this guy said. Do you trust Trump though? I don't know.
Was it actually announced or? Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is breaking. The U.S. and Iran reached an 11th hour ceasefire on Tuesday evening, hours after Trump threatened to start wiping out a whole civilization. Agreement was announced by Trump on social media hours after Pakistan urged Trump to stand down. Let me see what his post says.
See what Trump tweets about it? His psycho deranged tweets.
Yeah, literally have to go to Truth Social.
Yeah, Truth Social.
10 more minutes.
Here we go. Okay, let me read it to you. So it says, Based on conversations with Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif of Pakistan, wherein they requested I hold off the destructive force being sent tonight to Iran
What are you doing?
and subject to